the video hasn't even started, but she like brings the cups and she puts down the cup. She's like this. She's like, ah, cockroach! And there was 2 cockroaches in the cup.
Meaning as well. Hot cockroach.
Look at you do it, hey?
A few moments later.
It's called editing, bro.
That did not do what you thought it would do.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're doing a mukbang with Nepali noodles. I have my sister, my sister Tara, and
Angela,
and my cousin Roshan as well. So they're just gonna be behind the scenes, and also we're gonna try the food first, and then we're gonna have a little talk about some.
He wants to talk about Kichkandi.
No.
Why?
he wants to talk about himself then.
Oh, okay.
Okay, since we're basically eating like craving food, so you know, usually when we are on our monthlies, we crave these kind of food. So, is anyone on their period? No.
No, I was like, what is it?
It was. Let's just dig in. Let's dig
Do you want to
in.
explain that we're from the UK, so we've never tried this before?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
The whole point of this.
I've been here like almost 2 years, so I have tried most of these. But my sister, she's never tried any of these, so we're gonna get some really honest reaction
Oh, that's actually a lie.
out of my sisters. Yeah.
Okay. What should we start with? Because we have to go together.
I don't know. It's meant to be soup.
This dad on Steph.
like vegan.
Your hand looks like Steph Fiance's as well.
This is very like kind of relevant to what we're gonna talk about.
What is this?
This is rara noodles.
Rara noodles
You want some?
with chicken soup base.
He
He was like,
He's been so hungry for like 4 hours now.
Me too.
You know what? तिमीलाई चाहिँ माथि माथिको त्यो crusty bit पर्यो यो तलको चाहिँ soup bit चाहिँ राम्रो छ.
ASMR is mad. This is yummy. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's just very.
It's like it's like sick people kind of noodles.
That's what I like it because I like very subtle flavors. But Angela's like the kind of person that needs like intensity.
I don't want another bite.
This was inspired by like Japanese ramen, so it makes sense.
Really?
Just
It
made
actually says the Japanese way.
Sorry, I would be offended if I was Japanese.
It tastes good. It's just I think it's just a lot of salt. It's very salty.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, because we're in Nepal as well, so I don't have really good like.
Can you edit when I sneeze because I saw a piece of noodle fly out my.
Not my problem.
Carry on.
Okay. त्यो उस होइन यो एकचोटि भाइरल भएको नि टिकटक च्यालेन्जमा यही हो. So there was like you know like when we had there was like the bulldog spicy noodle challenge, so like Nepali people were doing their own current Hyunjae noodles.
She said
My Korean.
Hot and spicy chili plus pepper. 2, 1.
It smells so dalle
It smells
khursaani type.
bulldoggy.
I like that.
I don't like that.
It's like I don't really like the Nepali people. Oh,
Don't have it.
well, it's like it's like chutney.
I like Korean speedo because it's like sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just pure like Nepali chili.
Let's see if the Korean ramen is actually like similar to.
I'm gonna. Like it's not bad. Like I would eat it, but I wouldn't.
I literally told him before we started the video. I was like, "Don't do some tacky shit like putting a thumbs up."
That's not tacky.
Oh dear God.
Get to pita sana. The first bite was pita, but now it's like.
तिम्रो खाऊ है यो. तिमीले त्यहाँ ल्याउनु.
Yes, I'm ready for it.
Is that like our dogs? It's like leftovers.
What is the dog bowl as well?
Sorry, we wanted the aesthetic-ish one, but like. Oh my God.
No, I'm ready for that one.
Okay.
That looks so yummy.
Next one is 2 p.m. Go Napoleon pasta. This one, like, I think none of us have ever tried before, eh?
You know what's funny? That one looks like buldak, like samyang rato.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like the carbonara ripoff.
यो चाहिँ तर यो चाहिँ noodle पनि different छ. Okay, I've never seen this noodle in Nepali noodles.
Ditto.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the bowls. Okay.
Sounds very spicy.
This is
No.
no.
I can see what they were trying to do, but why not?
I'm so scared.
I can also see what they're trying to do. It's like they're trying to do carbonara, but it's like they did atti til.
Carbonara, no, they're trying to do pasta, like tomato
And it
pasta.
just tastes like mozzarella.
It just tastes like oil.
You know what? I'd still eat this though.
Do you know?
I think bhokla when I would eat this.
I feel like
I mean, I think it's like a good के भन्छ, flavor though. It's like it's different. Okay, I don't think it's that
Really,
bad.
I know, I really know this one.
What's the lie? What is that? But I think it's like तातो भएको भए झन् मिठो हुन्थ्यो होला.
you know what though? In terms of like cravings, if I was on my period, I feel like this is, you know, when I'm on my period, like I always want to I crave something like unique. Do you know what I mean? Like something weird.
True.
And this is a flavor that I feel like I would randomly not want every day, but like when I'm on my period, be like, I need this now.
Exactly. Like it's very specific. Okay, specific flavor.
We're about to cut and then it keeps stacking.
They're literally our leftover dog kusma. Okay, this half I'm actually excited for.
So
Why?
did you try one as well?
I don't know. The plating looks good, but also like these are really like cool flavors. But the only thing is,
My sausage is not touch
sorry.
Do
Mixed
we have to
matter.
consider like
Yeah, let's
much,
consider how
Do you
cold
want to rate those by the way?
cold is been. Let's do it at the
Now,
end,
now.
because then we have like a inkling idea.
Oh, that's true. Like in comparison to everything else.
So do you guys know what tama means? Yeah.
No.
So tama is like bamboo shoot. Yeah.
Really?
So Nepali ma bamboo shoot.
They have a lot of bamboo shoot in like
No.
Chinese dishes.
No.
Is this YY's company?
Why go company right? Did I give you guys? Yeah, it's the aloo tama flavor. It's my first time as well.
Sounds very potatoey.
Oh my god, it really smells like tama. Right? Like honestly, tama is a hit or miss for me sometimes. Which is all. You can khate hola hai.
It's like
You know what?
an elevated version of Rara.
You know what? I feel like it'd be yummy or hot.
Yeah. And also there's like a spice to it at the end. It's literally like tastes like if tarkali was made into noodle.
I think that was the goal as well though.
I'm about to noodles about it.
When you
You turn into curry, bro.
Like saag katera halcha ni.
Masala.
Tomato, onion. यहाँ नि त्यही हालेछ है
Mama taking them.
Thanks. मलाई दिएको
Do you know
थप्ने.
what? I'm PMSing as well, so I'm kind of close to my period. So I'm like extra sensitive.
You know रोशन तिमी हाँस्न पाउँछ. Like तिम्रो स्वर आएर मात्रै केही नि हुन्न थाहा छ.
That's it, mouse for it, yeah?
किन कसले चिन्छ भनेर हो?
तिमी लुक हाइडिङ हो वान्टेड हो. चाहिँ यो भोगाएर मात्रै खाएको है साँच्चैमा.
है साथीहरु, म चाहिँ भोकाएर मात्रै खा. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, so
Wait, I didn't get it.
Okay, next is rumba.
The person watching is like, oh my god, is that your Rosan?
She's tattoo flags.
That they're gonna use that to identify you, bro.
Oh shit. Can you make it look like a dog? Let's see how you do anything.
Rumba. It's meant to be, yeah, like soup based tayari is also like just veggie no more. I
Soup
think.
थियो भने मिठो हुन्थ्यो.
Oh.
So जम्मै like
How is it different to Rara?
It's always dry garaको. On ours.
I don't know. यो चाहिँ खास सुप बनाउन खोजेको थियो तर त्यस्तो भएको.
लामो भएन के.
Not even that. Honestly, भाडा नपुगेर let's be real.
This is better than Rara though.
ए हो त्यो फ्लेभर चाहिँ अलि बेटर छ. यो त राजा साच्चै like I
This is
swear
नुन
like
हालेको लस्ते.
हस्पिटलमा खाने जस्तो फुड हो के.
यो चाहिँ मिठो.
आउट अफ नि दिन पर्यो.
We didn't laugh on them.
तर यसको अति टेस्ट नरहेछ है. I was gonna eat it off the table, but then I remembered the cockroach.
Hey. Cooked so much of okay, let's see how that.
Right?
I think I'm already getting into a food coma.
Really?
No, right.
Only by
Okay, next. Oh, I'm excited. 2 p.m. Korean ramen. Let's see how it is close to Shin ramen.
Is it meant to be Shin?
No,
I think it
this
was
is
Ron.
Hanguk ramen.
Have you guys seen that TikTok of that Nepali girl that she says like Gucci dupe?
No. Nepali केटी हो?
But she's so funny. So I'm just gonna funny.
Seaweed नि छ रे यसमा.
Shin ramen dupe?
Okay. Oh, why am I
That was such a fake laugh.
Wait, which one's the 50 rupees one? Yo. Currently I'm like scam गर्यो. For 50 rupees it was like 80 थोरै. यो चाहिँ 60 यो त धेरै हो है for Nepali noodle. This is a big portion. No, for Nepali noodle it's a big portion. Okay, come on then.
One pound ramen.
Like रातो देख्ने बित्तिकै it's like
तेरो चाख्ने नि हो.
Ooh, smells spicy. I wonder if it's different to this. Wait, company छुट्टै हो? Coriander to be made. What's it tell I can feel the oil.
पहिला टेस्ट नि आएन अनि यतिकै काबाट पिरो आयो है तर तिमुर पिरो के like
Wait, is this the exact one that we tried in England?
We tried to be an anchor.
So we did like a current and 2 p.m. hot noodle try. I don't know, it was not Korean ramen wala. I think it was like 2 p.m. ko fast like spicy. To चाहिँ अति टिम्मुर थियो. Maybe that's a 2 p.m. Well, the current the कस्तो famous भएको छ है? Like all the snacks we had today is like current.
पिरो
God damn. I don't want to throw it away, but oh, whoa. I feel like, but if I was on a period though, I feel like I could eat this.
पिरियडमा म त गुलियो मन पर्छ स्पाइसी मुख पर्यो यार तर लोकी like why do I like it
कस्तो like सुरुमा चाहिँ कस्तो उयो रहेछ तर खाइराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो like not bad just that. 2 बजे 2 बजे खानु पर्ने
किन 2 PM 2 PM लन्च हो खाजा टाइम
खाजा टाइम हो टेक्निकली हाम्रो घरमा चाहिँ 3 PM यस्तो बोल्नै गाह्रो भयो
मुख नि सुन्यो
Okay, we're all just like done.
I'm sorry wait I had that P and it was so bad
Like PEAP.
yeah
Oh, like get out P. I don't know. I say like P. I was like, why are you drinking piss? As a disclaimer, right? By your video, we're gonna talk about period. Get it? I said like we're gonna talk about periods, and he's like, good period, English Nepali. This is Nepalma. के भन्छ classes like period भन्छ के it's like science period English period Do you guys have you guys heard about chhaupadi सुन्नु छ You don't know So basically in like I don't know if it's in India as well I think it's somewhere India man छ है But it's like in Nepal they have like this custom I know custom where when a girl is on her period you get like banished to like a menstrual hut so it's like a from your house it's like a separate usually it's like a shed
that's a chhaupadi right
Yeah, so
I
it's
had
like
that image in my head
being in chhaupadi yeah this is like a menstrual hut and then you are like you go and like basically live there for like your entire duration of your period. So 4 or 5 days, I think. But Nepal, it's basically been banned. I think it's illegal now. So like you basically get it's illegal, okay? But if you get caught, you get fined and stuff. Wait, is that a mosquito?
I'm fighting for my life actually.
But I don't think it's a mosquito. It's just like a
It was a moth.
mothy kind of thing. But yeah, you get fined and stuff, and but like people still do it. Only yeah. So I just want to like see if you guys knew and like what you think about it and stuff. But yeah, it's mad.
I can't believe it, man.
Yeah, but the craziest thing is like what did news or there were news that like yeah, because obviously it's like you are so this is your family home, and then it's down like say there's a whole bari, there's like a how do you say? I'm struggling with English.
A bush.
Not a bush.
Cow
Bari, ke bari. How do you say bari in English?
Don't look at me, mother's on it.
Like a garden, right? So say your house is like a garden, and then there's a
Like bari ma, like
you know
that's
तिमीले like grow vegetables गर्छ नि त्यस्तो खालको बारी के, and then there's the shed, right? So it's obviously far away from the family. So something happens to you, it's not possible that someone would know. So like these girls, obviously they get like not obviously, but obviously because I'm saying like as a gender, like women are more unsafe. So they get raped in these, and they have also been like I think there was a murder case as well. And then I think most
So
common
is it outsiders or within the family?
outsiders. But usually I think it's people they know. Like you know how so many percentages.
Will
people
they
they know.
be like unique, as in like so in comparison to like a different like a shed or a gal shed? Do they look any different?
So I think some people say shed may goza, but then most people, the ones that practice this custom, they make like a specific hut.
Yeah,
for
so like
this
is it something
custom.
that looks distinctly like a chhaupadi?
Yes, imagine it's a mud house.
Because then that's the worst, because it's like men could go out and like people could go out and like look for these specifically.
Yeah,
on
so they know
purpose.
this. Yeah, exactly. And
So
then
they're isolated as well, so like they can't really escape.
yeah. Ani, imagine they're so vulnerable. Like I'm because to being like we're already in physical pain, and then on top of that, like all the mental anguish and stuff. And also, I think the most common cases in these huts is like fires. So because just imagine winter, you're in this mud house, and then there's no like heating or anything, and you only have like thore kapra. They give you like done thore kapra because for the whole time, the less clothes you have means the less clothes you make unpure. Because not that the धेरै कपडा धुन पर्छ नि त, so then you have like less clothes I think, and then because of that you're cold, so then they like light a fire to keep themselves warm, and then like sometimes it ends up catching on fire, and so girls and women have died because of fire, and like snake bites, like गाउँहरुमा the snakes हुन्छ नि त, snake bites अनि त्यस्तैहरु, and then yeah, it's just easy prey.
So what's the minimum and max that they're in there for? Is it
4 or 5 days. It's like a
Duration
duration
of the
of
whole
your
period.
period, yeah. Because you're impure, like they don't even want you near the house, like, and then you just get your food brought to you and stuff. But obviously, that's like for me, that's like the extreme version of menstruation, right? In terms of gender disparity in Nepal. But there's also like the rest of Nepal does this thing like notuni. Do you know about notuni? So it's basically direct translation, so it's like untouchable. Same like for the duration of your period, like 4 or 5 days, you become untouchable. And then for personal story as well, like obviously in England we don't do this. I know. Wait, I also want to ask before that actually, what was your first period experience like?
I tried to say for me, I saw in the middle of like a Nepali party. And I remember you guys were there, and like I told you, grabbed you, and I was like, Sam,
Wait, weren't you like 9 years old?
No, I was like 10.
Oh, 10.
And I was
do
like, Sam, what do I do? And then luckily for
Yeah, I
me, I
remember.
had older sisters, like you guys helped me out. I remember my mom about it, and she was like, you have to die like to know or something. And I had to take a shower that same day, but like this was it was just no really like.
Oh,
But
त्यो छुन हुन्न भने त्यो.
faster. But I guess I'm gonna go lucky.
Yeah, what was yours like?
Mine was so cute. Mine was like I had just turned 10, and it was like a week after I turned 10 in our new house, and then
You were 11, weren't you?
I was 10. I just turned 10, and then Don said Didi had come to our house because we had just moved in as well, and then because I had my period before I got into year 5. And then I went to the toilet and I was like, oh, and then I ran and I told you, I was like, I just started my period.
I'm
and
in the story
you
every
guys
time.
you guys were so happy. You were like, oh my god, yay!
Womanhood.
And then you guys literally went around me in a circle. You were like, welcome to womanhood.
Oh, because the last imagine हामी तीनजनालाई भइसक्यो and you're the last one remaining, like last man standing. Just then it's like finally we're all the same.
But I remember मलाई भनेको थियो, I think Daila and then mommy was saying like, oh, Daila नछोड, यस्तो गर्नु पर्छ. And I was like, from the start I was like, what is this? Like, I was like,
You're
shocked.
10, you're like,
Yeah, no, but it's funny because at the start, because you know Daini Bakrik, like he was kind of freshy still, kind of. You know what I mean? Oh, like, but blessed, not blessed, but I mean, you know, like, he was like at the start he was also like a bit like you know, don't. But then like now, like Dai, so like he doesn't really give it.
Mine was I mean it was similar, but it was a little bit like obviously my first hint. I think they went like lenient as you guys went on. I don't know how Sita's was, but mine was Hong Kong mamako. I was 11 and then you don't know anything about that. My first experience with this is TMI. My first experience with menstruation was like school because we share obviously like communal bathrooms, and sometimes I would see like pads in like female bathroom and I asked my friends like cute, and she was like, oh, this and I was like, oh. And I used to be like, oh, that's so crazy, like so because she never explained to me, but obviously she wasn't same age, but I think she knew about it, but I never got like a
Mommy was so awkward. Like our mom's awkward with stuff like
I
this.
remember. So like me listen, no, and then mom was, you know, at work, and then you know how dad was house husband at that time, so he was at home, and then I got my period, and then I told dad, and he was like, "Mami laban." I was like, okay. So I called mom, and I was like, I was like, I can't remember Nepali ma ke भन्ने होला like No, but I think they will have like period menstruation भनेर. And also because you Hong Kong ma ta school ma ni सिकाउँछ नि. I think I'd literally just had the menstruation talk or something, and then it happened, and then so I told him, and then he was like, tell your mom. So then I called mom, like she's at work, and I was like, Mommy, is this the bio? And then she was like, did you she was like, she was worried that I had leaked. Okay? And I was like, no. And yeah. And then but then she told me like, oh, it's this really bad kind of sister. And then so we did. But then dad made me Gunpati Marde.
I think he said Stulak. Mom didn't say nice word.
No, not that. Okay. And then so she was like, oh, it's just the Garbani, and then so I did that. And then but then dad just randomly was like, you need to go, like you need to stay in that room. So it was like a separate, we had 2 bedrooms at that time, and then he told me to stay in like the smaller room. And then but then he was like telling me that I have to stay in the dark. So then I had to stay in the dark, and he was like, don't leave that room. And so I just stayed there, and then you guys would be outside. And then he would bring my dinner, but he would literally like bring it to the door and then like
As if
slide it.
like criminal.
Not even that, like he would make Sita do it. Like he would be like, bring this to your sister, and then he'd be like, don't go to her.
You know what I find so funny? Like this is her, and not just because it's our dad, but I mean like, you know, men, like with fathers, it's like you've literally had a whole child with a woman, right? Like you've seen everything, you've done that, you've probably seen them give birth, but you're being disgusted over like the thought that someone's.
No, but listen, so this is why we go back and talk about the culture though, because he's been brought up in this culture of this whole nachuni. Imagine chhaupadi, right? Like specific region culture, you know, but still like there's nachuni. Which I experienced after coming here, which you're literally not allowed to touch any man, you're not allowed to enter the kitchen, you're not allowed to water plants, you're not allowed to pray, God, and you have to stay in the same clothes for like 3 whole days. And
But I think maybe I'm like ignorant because I'm educated, but I feel like
no.
Okay, I was gonna say.
but I feel like, you know, like maybe it's also his, like their lack of like education maybe.
Yeah,
but, like,
exactly.
you know, like it's still like science or Barney Party. The more you think about like cultural things, like culture kuraharu, especially like kuraharu that like make things bad specifically for like aime or like you know like dolly turu. Do you know what I mean? As you grow up, like on science whatever, you feel like it's just kind of like common sense, like why that would actually not be like.
I think that kind of happened with Roshan, like because he's very the Porisam so he also questions himself like so many customs, and especially because he lives here. I mean, because we live abroad, so we are even more curious. Like this is bullshit, like see they believe it like that. Whereas I feel like someone like Roshan is in the middle, like would say culture pani cha, but educated pani cha. So then he tries to find like scientific meaning behind the culture things as well. Yeah, because we were actually like, I was gonna say this as well, like we were talking about like period story, like how these kind of notuni things like started. Like how did someone sit somewhere and be like, okay, you know what, when girls are on their period, they're not gonna touch anyone, they're not gonna do this that. And then some of these educated priests were saying things like how apparently, you know how white girls are not allowed to go to temples, but it's like they were saying, you know how Hinduism are chakra and energy and whatever. So they said apparently when a woman is on her period, her energy is going downwards. So imagine like an arrow going downwards, but then a temple's energy is upwards. So then when some priest, like this is their like explanation, not even priests, like people on my Insta, they're giving these are the these are the
I'm imagining the comments right now, like people like, hey, this tomorrow, like
exactly. That's why if a girl goes to a temple, like the energies don't match, and then like it's harmful to her. So that's why they were dana hunare. And also another thing is back in the day, like my temple but back in the day, the temples were so far away, so when you're on a period, like you can't walk that very far.
That's like empathetical, like that's like don't go because for you that's like tiring. You're being banned just because your energy is down there. Like. You know what's so interesting as well? This might be kind of like a stupid correlation, but like, okay, say like Geta Mansiru when they like ejaculate. Like, no, listen, that's true because when Geta Mansi ejaculate, like you know, put the energy to dollar time. So when a man is like has a boner, he's not allowed to go to a temple.
Why would he have a boner at a temple?
No, because man,
this is no, babe, no. Babe, no.
No, I'm trying to make up.
That's more controllable than.
No, randomly
but just the randomly no, I'm sure. No, look at him.
But what I'm just saying is like it's so
this makes you sound dumb.
No, but it's hypocritical because also like basically you know
their energy's done.
Yeah,
and then it goes up.
That's true. That might be their contradiction. They might be like, oh my god, that's what a pity Matty done. No, I know. Oh, listen, but say
listen.
हामी किन खून निस्केपछि impure हुन्छ भने खून like dirty खालको हुन्छ नि, they think it's dirty, right?
And also like at the time, like it's smelly, it's dirty and everything.
But you could say the same for sperm, like you could say the same for ejaculation, like that's also dirty, carries diseases, causes diseases, and is dirty. But it's just like double standards.
Like we said before, like in the past, it's sanitation, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what he said.
Have products. Okay.
So we should make pads for this.
No, like supplies here, resources here,
Your point actually does not make sense.
So I'm gonna talk about makes sense too.
No, it does not make sense.
I'm just saying there was resources in the past, so like it was like sanitary, you know. So like put in stuff like.
Yeah, that's true. I understand that. But it's like exactly. So they're like, oh, unsanitary, about this and like, but then the whole like tune nauni. And then what I found weird for me personally when I was not tuning here was I could touch other women, but obviously not men. So it's a very hierarchy apparent way. That's it where so they're saying the men are pure, I can't touch them because I'm impure, but I can touch other women because they're also impure.
But then that doesn't make sense because that's implying that the woman you touch has had their period. Maybe like so you can't touch women that haven't had their period, but you can still touch them. Do you know what I mean? So it's like just make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but maybe it makes sense to them. I don't know. Like sometimes I ask like auntie and this and that, or they're always like, "Stay oh, stay boy like that is literally every Nepali's answer to everything. Everything you question in Nepal is like, oh, it's always been like this. It's always been like this. But why has it always been like this? You know?
He was talking bears when this was off. Is it on? Oh no.
Why are you shy?
Simply shy.
What were we even talking about though? Okay.
I don't think my point was valid. What I remember is ejaculate.
Current. Oh, it says guksu noodles.
Oh, you only current or
Hot and lemon. The flavor is hot and lemon. Let's see. It's been a while, so it might be really, really cold. It's like cold noodles now.
Which one's this one, sorry?
Current, hot, and lemon.
the first taste was good, but when the spice kicks in, it's not. But
Do
actually,
you know what? I feel like the validity of this experiment is kind of void because they're all cold, you know what I mean? But it makes us not like it. It tastes very similar to...
No, that's a bomb.
I like this, man.
Is it me too? I feel like... You want me to
Salty, but like
It tastes like the crisps from earlier we had.
Oh yeah, but it was like, yeah, that was lemon version. You know, it's the same company. Maybe it's like a crisp version of this noodles. Oh, this is like a noodle. Same flavor.
I'm Lily here.
So that was the best, yeah.
I really love this.
Wait, Nepali के त्यो alcohol सित खाने कुरालाई के भन्छ रे? शीतल. I didn't know that.
Like snacks to have with alcohol.
Yeah. Do we have a word for that in English?
Nuts.
What? No. What is up with you
No, because
today?
we eat nuts with alcohol.
Yeah, but nuts is the name of the food, not like the...
See, that's what like English people aren't big on, because I watched a thing on this recently about how like in English drinking culture you don't really like enjoy the alcohol with like
Yeah,
food,
you
you
just
know what?
binge. Like, it's
Unless
just
it's
about
like-
getting drunk.
unless it's supposed to like wine, but they just drink on like empty stomach.
That's true.
Oh, I watched a TikTok on how like if you go to a party, like do you expect there to be food? It was like all the white people
I remember
were like,
we used to
no.
actually have this conversation like Unima.
With this, I like the fact that it has flavor apart from just spice. If you like it like that.
No
More
way.
cancer, one more too.
Are you guys full? Okay.
I could eat more, but like yeah.
Money.
Like,
You know, scientifically, do you think we need we have cravings when you're pregnant and on your period because you know your body is using up like a lot more energy.
eat more, yeah.
So like it's your body telling you like eat more, eat more.
Yeah, but then just about that we could eat anything.
Mm.
Why would we get craving?
do you guys, does your appetite get bigger when your period though?
No.
I
I literally like, for me it feels like my page is constantly full.
I mean, I can either be like, I can eat like a beast, or like I just don't want to eat anything all day. One or the other.
Money, like when I'm on my period, because it feels constantly full, I feel like I would be okay not eating.
Yeah. I do eat less. The worst is
Period poo.
no.
Oh god.
It feels like my whole uterus is coming out. No.
And
Think like a
stench,
stone,
I'm
so-
sorry, the stench, double homicide.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did Roshan tell you about chhaupadi today? What more? Anything to add?
Or about the snake bites that come in the sheds.
I actually didn't know about the rapes.
Alligator.
I mean, like it's kind of like it seems like a like obvious kind of thing.
Not obvious, but you're just not surprised.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Disappointed but not surprised. Man in a nutshell. Woo! Because when I'm here, I would not follow this because obviously I want to break traditions. Like, I want to break things like this. So, low-key, I've been lying about being on my period sometimes.
I think I told him that.
Did you know, Roshan?
He's like, this bitch has not been, oh not bitch. She has not been on her period for 3 months.
So yeah, there was a time like, I was not, basically I was on my period, but I wouldn't tell Azuba because then I would have to stop working, so then I couldn't find anyone else to work for him, like to care for him. So then I'd just not tell him, and I'd pretend that I'm not on my period. But he didn't question me for like a 4 whole months gig.
I feel like maybe deep down he knew. Do you think?
But then like Roshan's mom started questioning me. She was like, have you not had your period? I was like, I've been taking medication, but And she literally like beat me up. She was like, "Oh my god, you're gonna mess up your body. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not gonna be able to have kids." That's a podcast for another day. Myth of that pill. But yeah. And then I told them like, "Oh yeah, okay. From next time I'll stop having it." And then after that I called them. So then they did that instead. But it's just like, honestly, I only do it because I respect Hajima so much, and also because I don't want to upset him, because he's obviously like 95, so he's gone his entire 95 years of life with this belief that if someone touches me, I will be unpure. So, and also Chaurasi goddess and all that. So only usko lagi matre. But if it was just like us law, and even if Pupu or someone told me to do it, I'd be like, nah, like I don't believe it. Like I don't want to follow this tradition. But
Okay, guys,
also गर्छु.
so you like, oh,
अहिले चाहिँ
you're like, oh,
I do go on it.
like, I'm on.
Yeah, I usually call kusum. And then
So it's like you can't even cook for others, can you? Like,
yeah, because then what you cook becomes impure.
and you can't water flowers. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Otto was just telling me earlier, because we were in the rooftop like sorting out flowers and stuff, and then he was saying that, oh, this flower died because women have been watering this on their periods. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not true, but anyways.
Like, you actually watered while you wanted to, and the next day actually like.
Yeah, it's just coincidence. Like, do you believe it, Satsi? Like, we wouldn't judge you.
Like, फुलमा period हुने बेला फुलमा पानी हाल्यो भने मर्छ भनेर.
What if you water it and then men, like, just out of hatred, rati good sounds. So when you...
Baby girl. Baby girl. No, slow down. Slow down.
One question I have. What's the possibility does this to follow this custom?
I think India. I think
India.
I think it's like intercorrelated with like Hinduism.
yeah, it is, and also I think it's the border. Like, you know how Tarai in Nepal is like South Nepal, right? And then it touches into North India. So maybe, but I'm not sure. I need to do more research. I don't want to talk about it, but I know that there's some Indian. Because in my Insta community, like there was some post about like Indian or Lebanese gareko. I think it was very, very, very rural. Okay, like ekdamai rural area, but yeah, and also I want to talk about like how in England, right? So obviously here, Nachuni is the whole like no touching, no cooking, all that. But in England, like we have our own version, right? Like we do the touching thing, but we just don't do puja. We do everything else, right? But I think it's also that's very like capitalism driven.
In what way?
Because in England we have to work. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very like you gotta work to make a living, whereas in Nepal it's very like more like a laid back, like family oriented lifestyle. Because yeah, see, if I was on my period and I didn't cook, someone would make it for me, like I could do. But in England, like there's no option. You know what I mean? Also because everyone works, like everyone needs everyone to work all the time. So I think maybe that's also why. I don't think it's generally to do with like, oh, I don't believe in it. Because if our parents didn't believe in it at all, then they wouldn't believe in it. Like full stop, okay?
You know what's really sad? It's like in the Western world, like periods are becoming, because of like, you know, like second wave feminism, is it? That,
I think we're on third or fourth wave
like,
now.
do you know what I mean? But like because of that, like periods are becoming so like empowering. Like we see periods as such a good thing. We think like, oh, this is like not proof. This
Proof
is
of womanhood.
Yeah, like, but this is like such a like kind of like good thing for womanhood. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like whatever.
It's
But,
being more celebrated than like a shameful thing. Because
Yeah.
England, we used to like hide our pads. Like it wouldn't be so openly talked and stuff. Whereas now it's very much. I mean, like, yeah, the other day, like, Angela was like, oh my god, my pad, like, I have to hide my pad. I was like, what the hell? Like, you still care
That's
about
a
that?
used pad though, like used.
No, even the normal pad.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like because I live in abroad. And I feel like yeah, I think bin like it
That's true.
That was really difficult because like how are you going to dispose of it, and like that's why I found it really difficult. I was like, when am I supposed to change it?
That's true.
Yeah.
Are you meant to, like, put it in the hole in the ground?
Especially if you're family, like, well, it's usually one toilet per like preparation or stuff. This could be like a long line, and you can't really be.
Okay, that's a
carrying
us
all that
problem.
food.
That's a us problem. We should keep a bin there, but yeah. That's true. But you know, because I think it's only our generation that actually use pads as well, but like, I know for a fact, like, Pupu or Ru, they use cloths. Like, they don't use pads.
And आफै धुनुहुन्छ पछि
And then they like, do they लगाउँदै गर्छ. I'm like, I wonder how, it must be very observant then. That's so crazy. Do you know if your mom uses pads? Tahina.
I love well, at least in UK they have like baths with like period they have deodorant, like pads, like everything, like
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, in UK we have like a vending machines थाहा छ? So it's a machine हुन्छ नि drinksहरू अनि पैसा हालेर drinks आउँछ नि. So we have that त्यस्तै machine in the toilet केटीहरूको, but it's like padहरू. So in case you forget your pad,
तर
like
आजकल त झन् फ्रीमै हुन्छ.
no way.
basket हुन्छ.
Wow,
In most
that's so
places.
good. I haven't been to England in 2 years. Wow, that's crazy.
I want to do that when I get my own place as well.
Yeah, because that's also another thing. I remember it was an issue when like condoms used to be free, but then pads used to be so expensive, and then obviously we were like, you know, like feel free to, whereas that's more of a necessity than like the first one. But I'm glad, like, and then also the pink tax. You know, there's a pink tax on pads and stuff.
Exactly.
It's so expensive.
Okay, so if I'm too out of like topic, but should pads be free? What do you guys think?
I don't think like free bandani. I think they should not be taxed. I think there should not be a tax on pads because they're a necessity. Like so, like I can't choose not to be on my period.
Without tax, they'd be cheaper.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
Because like a pack is like 4 or 5 quid, no? Even more sometimes.
the way it is now, I think it's okay. But like, I don't think it should be free, but it should be more accessible and cheaper. Because in the end, like, it is a lot of plastic waste, and like you need to think in consideration like manufacturing and stuff. Like that's what the cost is towards, right? You still have to pay the people making pads, but in the same way that condoms, like I like the way that. Whether you know condoms, you could go to like a sexual health clinic, and even in school, like they'd give it for free.
Did you just be like, woo?
Yeah, right.
Yes, a
But
condom.
that's good because back then maybe not, but now like in schools, like you can go to like student services and they'll give you like pads for free. They'll give you tampons. You'll go to the toilet, it'll be there. I think that's good. In like
Yes,
that kind
for
of setting.
that group is
Yeah.
a group of people because they're vulnerable, you know,
And because
also
like period poverty is a real thing. Like
that's so
I can't even imagine. I would think regardless. Imagine like living in third world countries where you have to reuse clothes and stuff like that.
And also, I'm sure that is probably not sanitary. I don't know. Yeah, because that I feel like they probably stay on it like a whole day or something. But then pads are also bad for you. Compared to
exactly, you're meant to change your pad like every few hours.
Right?
So
Yeah.
you can't get that without pad
With
tampons.
tampon though. With tampon you can, but not with pads. Yeah.
Did you know, like, I think it's like mostly in some African countries, it's menstruation is like a sign, obviously it's a sign of womanhood, I think in most cultures. So but then it also is linked to like child marriages in those countries because if the girl gets her period, then they think, she's ready to get married now. So imagine like you get your period at like 9 years old. The first thing of these people is like, okay, because that obviously means that we're childbearing age, biologically. That means your body is ready to carry a baby now. But then these people think that because your body is ready to carry a baby, that means you're ready to marry a man and have said babies.
It's actually crazy. I never thought about it in that way. That our body is like basically ready for
That's
childbirth.
true.
But,
Like every month we're wasting eggs, basically.
But that's crazy, Andrew. That's like us. Like if we lived in that kind of community, the second we had got on our periods
We were
at 10,
10.
they'd be like, "Oh, you're ready. Let's go."
To me, I think this period stigma and everything is just basically linking all back to misogyny. I always feel like people make these rules and men make these rules just to like hate all women. Like why are there always rules only for women? Okay, like yeah.
Also, do you think like if men had periods, do you think this would even be a thing? Honestly,
That literally
it
think
would
about
not
it.
be.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
wasn't there a thing like if it was men that got pregnant, like abortions and things like that would be so accessible and there wouldn't be all this
It's
drama.
fact. It's facts.
Yeah.
Sorry, but like Zima used to tell me like pregnant men used to give birth back in the day and they'd carry the babies on their foot. What was that about?
So that's also I think it's like so it's very no, I think it's more of a she said that apparently really long time ago, I don't know who told her this, but anyways, long time ago, actually it was men who used to be pregnant, and then they used to carry the baby like on their calves, like it's still my baby.
Where
And then-
is the context?
And then apparently, like the wives or like the girls were like, "Oh my god, like that is so hard for you. That is so patriarchal
That's
thinking."
still patriarchal. Like,
Yeah, and then
that
she's
still
like-
shows like women care, men don't.
But it's like, what I thought was like Jima trying to make sense. Okay,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Of why just like.
Yeah,
women.
and then she was kind of making it like a.
But also, whoever taught her that was definitely a man. Like, it was definitely men that made up that story.
I used to give birth back.
Like, you guys are going through this pain, but don't worry, like, we don't have to be empathetic for you guys because we've already been through that pain.
But it wasn't that person though.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? They're just saying
Yeah,
that, but
yeah,
like,
maybe, yeah,
it's
it makes
like,
sense.
you want to complain about periods and pregnancy, but we already been through that. It's like, but, like, my
And
ancestors
yeah,
been through
so
that.
then the woman was like, "Yeah, look, let me carry it for you." And then so then she took it and carried it on her belly. It's such a far-fetched story. Imagine she just went bloop bloop.
You the gaff, mama, take it, do it.
Oh yeah. Wait, isn't it seahorse that the man gets pregnant?
Yeah.
That's
There
mad.
are a lot of few animals where males get pregnant. Well, there's a lot of like animals that are like unique, like what do you call it? Oh my god, my whole degree is a waste. But they have like obviously both gametes. I mean both sexual organs. So they're what is it? Hemo.
Hemoglobin.
No.
What?
Hemoglobin. She's talking animal biology.
It's called like a hermaphrodite.
It's something.
Yeah, a lot of worms are like that. Like they don't
Oh.
have male, female.
I can tell. Can you ever tell if a worm is a male or a female? Anyways, this reminds me of, would you still date me if I was a worm? Yeah, and also, did you know in Nepal, right? Because I want to link it to gender inequality. Because, like, let's talk in Nepali context as well, you know. But what happened, I think, is also there's like a link to education with girls. Because it's like, so usually when girls get on their period, because they have to be untouchable huncha, and त्यसमाथि sanitary hunna and everything. Also, the schools they go to don't have the accessible necessities and things like that, so then they end up not going to school, which like obviously affects their education and
period
stuff.
poverty.
Yeah, exactly, like
that
yeah, period poverty for sure. And so I think there's like a few organizations that are like directly working with those. I know like Action Aid is working with chhaupadi trying to eradicate chhaupadi more.
Is that like an organization?
Yeah, so crazy. Like when you look at a bigger picture, like एउटा सानो like just like period stigma, but it's not just affecting like the person. Obviously, there's the whole physical pain, mental anguish, the stigma, and everything. But like if you look at it from bigger lens, like there's so many things connected, and yeah, and then because that's like something that men never have to go through. Like they don't even have to consider. Like that's why they get to just live their everyday life, you know what I mean? What's your like worst period experience?
Every time it happens during I'm like, this is okay,
This is it.
But my worst fear is you know like when you go to another person's house. I think once I've gone to another person's house and like, no, I haven't, but you have. Actually, I remember.
This is her
You leaked
story.
on someone else's bed.
Oh damn.
Oh yeah, so it's like I feel like leaking. For me, it's not like really heavy periods. I literally wear like freaking diaper. No, not diaper, but
Like those really heavy
like,
pads.
night ones.
Yeah.
Those
And
are
I still
actually
leak,
so
and I'm like,
good. Recommend. Right?
Product list at the end.
PPL.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. Always sponsor us. के अरे नेपाली ब्रान्ड नि छ नि अहिले What's that like श्रृङ्खलाले sponsor गर्छ त Padlocks or something? Padlocks? थाहा छैन I don't know. Anyways, moving on, yeah.
But yeah, I think just like leaking, and it's obviously very embarrassing, but.
Look, I have a few though. Like, do you remember when we went to school in Hong Kong? So it was like a white polo and then like light blue trousers. Okay, it was PE day. And I used to have a crush on this guy, right? This Pakistani guy. And then, anyway, so then we used to line up like ketaru, like girls and boys like line up, and then we were going back from like assembly back to our classroom, and it was like stairs, ma. And then these guys like literally just started like laughing their head off behind me, and then I didn't think it was me at all, so I was just like ding 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 ding, and then this girl like it's always like a woman helping a woman, right? Because imagine those guys, just their first thought is to just go ha 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 ha, And then to be honest, like we were year 6, and then this girl comes to me. She's like she was like, girl, like you got like bad blood stains all over your back, and I was like. And then so I literally run to the toilet, and my first thing is just like, oh my god, my crush was the one laughing. Yeah, so it was like that. Does it leak for sure? Like every single time I was on sports, like Kaldakiri. That's how I discovered tampons, though. Like I don't think I'd ever considered tampons if I didn't play a sport.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. But for me, it was like when I was living in Hatfield with Sita, and then I think she had a night shift or something, and then I was on my own, and I get really bad cramps, right? So that was like one of my worst ones where literally I could not move. I thought I was paralyzed. Okay, and also like when your thighs start pumping, like really contractions was just okay, like when you're pregnant, and it was like that, and I couldn't move, and I think then I got anxious, then my anxiety started kicking in, like then I was like couldn't breathe, and the whole room, it was already a small room, and it just felt like it was caving in on me. I felt dizzy and everything, and I literally thought, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, and no one's gonna even know, because no one was at home, and Sita was at work, and I was like, I'm gonna die, like Sita's gonna find my dead body in the morning. And then so then literally I called 911. What was 999?
Oh, 999.
I literally called. Oh, I think I called 111 actually.
Well, 111 wasn't open back then, I don't think.
What do you mean back then?
111 is recent.
This is 2018, bruv.
Oh, I thought 111 was like recent, like COVID-y.
No. 111 is like the less emergency, and then if you're literally dying, you call 999. But I think I may have actually literally generally dialed 999. And then the girl on the other side was like, oh, what's your emergency? I was like, I'm dying. And she's like, oh, tell me. And then so she basically did like anxiety therapy on the phone to me.
Did it help?
Yeah, because she was like, oh, like if we need, this is what I mean, like साँच्चै like विदेशमा भनेको विदेशै हुन्छ कि इमेजिन नेपाली she's like तातो पानी खा भन्थ्यो नेपाली अपरेटर
छपटीमा
she's like paracetamol खा
तैँले केटालाई छोरा हो यसो
भगवानको पूजा गरिस् होला त्यही भएर and then she literally was like, oh no, like just calm your breathing, this and that. And then she was asking me, and I realized like she was just distracting me, and then it worked. And then she said like, do you have a hot water bottle nearby? Like maybe try to curl up, like do this, do that, and then put pressure on this area, blah blah blah. And then literally I got better. And then she was also like, if it gets worse, because you never know, it could have been very critical, Nita. And she was like, oh, if it worsens, then please call us back. And I was like, whoever you were.
I think the pain is the worst part though. Like, it's so painful. And the fact that they say that like pregnancy's contractions on 10 times worse. I'm like,
oh
how
God,
can it worsen this?
Yeah. But wasn't there even a study done, like apparently a period pain is like similar to a heart attack?
Yeah.
That's
I
mad.
saw all
It really
worse.
feels like that, bro.
It was like similar or worse. But
I think it just hurts like.
Do you remember back in school when guys used to be like, yeah, isn't it the same as being kicked in the balls? It's like, how many times a month do you get kicked in the balls?
That's that cool country, man. I feel like I heard that it's like really, even you
Spain.
but it's legal to like
Take
get,
period
yeah,
leave.
sick pay and stuff like that, like sick leave or.
you know, that's what I was saying as well. Like the pain is so bad. Like the worst thing for me is like, I'm like, I feel like we're like hardworking women, right? Like, do you know what I mean? It's so horrible when like you wake up and you're on your period, so like you just feel so like fatigued and like you can't even go about your day. I think that's the worst part because even in like exams.
I used to
like,
always come home sick on my period, like especially first day. Just literally like and most of our jobs are always like you have to stand up the whole time. So literally like I couldn't stand and I just had to go home. It was so bad, and I feel bad. Like I feel like maybe they think I'm faking it and everything, but it was literally that bad. Because also it's always like sometimes it's other women. They're like, oh, it surely can't be that bad because they never experienced that.
Yeah, 'cause
so then they
everyone
don't
has
believe you.
different
Okay,
people, Kind of like I used to be one of those people because when I was younger, I realized like my period pains have gotten so much worse as I've grown older. So when I was younger, when it first started, like it took the cramps when like I'd be able to go about my day and stuff. But like nowadays, like it's gotten so bad, like worse actually, like and like back then
Maybe it's linked to stress as well. Because I remember like at uni I got worse. pains as well. I think it's
Also, like
definitely linked
after
to
the
stress.
vaccine as well, like because there was a lot of people. Maybe it's just placebo, but a lot of people were saying like after the vaccine, like their period pain started getting worse.
Mine got better.
Really?
Yeah.
I think mine got worse after 2020.
Mine's always been bad, so I don't know.
I think personally, like it's always to do with stress.
I've had to cancel plans because of my period pain sometimes, like, and it's really annoying because I physically won't be able to leave the house and stuff. And obviously, like, going out requires so much effort, you know, like commuting and everything.
And also, you just don't want to be a grumpy bitch the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I
you
just
wanna
want
be
to curl up
fun.
and cry, like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Do you ever get like when you just feel so shit and you're like, what's wrong? And then you get your period and you're like, makes sense.
Like right now, like literally earlier today, I was about to cry for no reason, and I was like, why am I feeling so cryy today? And then I was like, PMS, because I'm on next week. And also another thing, I don't know if Timala wants to know, but when I'm on my period, it makes me more like anti-men, because I think like, oh, like why don't they have to go through this? Like literally, it's like, why me? Like why me?
I would go to work, and I'd see all these men like happy, and I'd be like,
Exactly.
like it's just so
Literally.
annoying that
You
they
wanna
just
kick
get
them
to
in the
live.
balls.
Literally, you want to like kick them in the
They
balls
get
for
to
sure.
live life just without this pain. And also, so obviously I go to like an academically challenging uni. So then when I'm like doing my exams and stuff, I'm like revising. Obviously there's so many days where like I just don't want to revise because I have to be hunched over a chair for like God knows how many hours, and like cramps and stuff. And you know, like when I take painkiller, I tend to get really sleepy. So I'm like, you know what, I can't even do that. I can't switch my brain off. And then there's like Vitara, it's okay, but there's like this one guy, like when I see the guys on my course, I'm just like, must be nice, man, must be nice. Obviously, I'm not saying they don't have problems, but like, must be nice to just like revise and just always be like, without like something in your body like stopping you.
Like that is every month.
Like 5 days,
a year.
like average 4 days every month for like what,
Average
50
4 days
years.
possible. Is that the average?
And I'm saying if
Mine's
you
like a week, bro. Like,
really, that's what I'm saying. Like longest is a week. I think probably some people get it like 40
2
days.
weeks.
Did you substitute 3 days when the average?
Imagine being constantly on your period.
sometimes a year doesn't sound that much, but it feels like you're always in your period. Like,
Honestly, I can't wait to be on menopause.
right?
Not even gonna lie.
But even menopause is shit, you know.
Oh, apparently, yeah.
Like you have
go through like
symptoms of
depression.
menopause, yeah.
And I can't lie, I'm sorry, but you know how like, if you don't want kids, like periods kind of like there's no point.
Yeah, I wish you could like opt out. You know, it's like, oh, okay, I've had the trial. Like, I don't want to go for the full thing, so can I have a refund?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you get like changes in your body, bitch. Where I missed that.
Yeah, and also generally that's the thing as well. Like, makes me more anti-men because it made me think like that. Literally get to go through life without worrying about these things, and also, as we said earlier, like going to school, it doesn't affect them. Going to work, it doesn't affect them, and then it makes you think that that's the link to why women are so behind in society is because of these biological things as well. And I feel like, and also these are used to then discriminate women as
That's
well.
what I'm saying. Like, just biologically speaking, like it's not something that's so bad that like it should be holding us back. Do you know what I mean? But it's just the way that like men have made it and used it against us.
Yeah. Also with that as well, say like, especially Western world, like, because we're so capitalist that we want to work, make money. And also with Western feminism, like, because we want to be like, you know, that be that girl boss, like that girl be like make that money dollar bill, but
Chase the bag.
and then do you not sometimes feel like you have to prove like your extra worth because you're a woman? Because like you don't want to. So sometimes I feel like even if I'm on my period, I can't show it because then you'll be like, oh yeah, you're a woman. Like the kids like see like
or it's
women.
like, oh, that's why you were being snappy.
Yeah.
That's why you're moody.
Yeah.
Like, shut the
And you know how the biggest thing is like women can't be leaders because what if they get on their period and start a war? Things like that. But men have been doing that anyway. Like, what's your excuse?
Exactly.
What's your excuse?
thing I've ever heard.
It seems like a double-edged sword where it feels like we have to pretend we're not in pain, but at the same time we want to scream out that we are, so we get the help and resources that we need. But then if we shout too much, then it's like, oh yeah, you're being victim blaming. Like it's always you guys. But anyways, any final thoughts?
Please, I hope men get periods one day. Okay.
I actually want to buy one of those like period stimulators, and
we
I'll
should get Roshan to try
I
it.
want to like carry it around with me, and every time a man says anything like misogynistic, I'm just gonna like try this, like put this on right now, right?
Yeah. Truth or dare?
But do you ever think like Do you like find it weird that like you'll never ever experience what it's like to be a man?
Honestly,
I find it so weird that like
that's what makes me
I've lived my
upset.
whole life, but I've never known like what it's like to be like a man. Like, do you know
It's
what
like
I
I
mean?
love
Living
being a
there.
woman. Like, don't get me wrong, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
same.
love being a woman. I sometimes feel like, especially being a very hardcore feminist, like you literally wake up every day, double analyzing everything that happens, like from the way you are raised, and especially when you start becoming aware of these like society issues and things like that, like you literally see the world through such different lenses, and it made me really like weirded out actually at one point that there's a whole population, like half of the world's population
4
that
billion people.
like that literally like see the world like so differently, and that they will never ever actually understand it. Okay, like no matter how much we cry and like how much we try to like, do you know what I mean? And I feel like even the ones that sympathize with us, like they will never understand us. Okay, like I'm really grateful for obviously like the supporters and the allies and stuff, but at the end of the day I feel like you will you will never get it, like honestly, like you will never get it to the point of
But it's just simple things like you don't have to fucking be fearing for their life every second of the day. Not basically. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
just
the
go out
extreme,
for like
but
walks
yeah.
and stuff at night by yourself.
But you know what's funniest to me is when men like you say that to a man and he's like, I'm fearful for my life as well at night, and I'm like,
yeah, but
of what? And he's like, of like getting stabbed, and I'm like,
by who?
By which demographic are doing the biggest stabbings at night and these crimes? Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, we are talking about this hypothetically, but men be saying this shit in my comments,
Well,
like,
it's
for real.
like imagine like reading that.
Yeah. So this was our period story.
That was so fun.
Woohoo! I hope you guys like enjoyed listening to us.
And try these ramens out, I guess.
Oh yeah, should we vote like our favorite?
Oh yeah, God Almighty, Dawson, come on, this is your intake.
Okay, let's do it out of 10, yeah? Okay, first,
I don't
Rara noodles.
Yeah, this one, yeah. 2.
6.
For me, it's like, yeah, maybe 5.
If it's above a 5, like I would eat it.
4. I thought you eat Rara noodles or Villa. Current, hot and spicy.
Yes, I would give it an 8.
7.
8.
I think 7, yeah.
Because that was already moving up.
Okay, this is down. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
gonna do. Let's see. 2 p.m. Italian, Napoli, Tana, pasta noodles.
If it was warm,
4.
3.
I feel bad. Like, I feel like if it was warm, I feel like it has potential to taste
5.
good. 5. Let's be in the middle, neutral.
So it's still, yeah.
What was this?
8.
8, yeah.
Okay, why aloo tama?
6.
4.
5.
5. I don't think I'd eat it.
That's
Like, I'm
still
not
a little bit,
interested.
right?
Okay. Rumba noodles.
I
This
don't
was better than
remember.
Rara though.
What did I give that? A
4.
6.
4.
I preferred it to Rara though.
Okay,
For me,
that's
it's a
Rara
7.
is a 5. This is a 6.
Yes.
This is this. Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's just your personal opinion. Okay, fine.
Only pera not
Fine. I think it goes with the majority.
2 p.m.
Alright, 2 p.m. Korean ramen.
6.
6.5.
You prefer
Oh
Korean to
no!
current?
No, it was that one. Sorry, yeah.
7.
7.
6.5.
Do you think Korean better? Keep 2 p.m.
Current.
Okay, yes, same. I think that's the majority. And then I think that should stay at the top.
8.5, yes. 9 even.
8.
8. Like it is
8.
tied. Like I would just
So
eat.
maybe 8.
No, both for me. Neither of them are like wow, so delicious. I want to eat this every day.
So I
Because
mean,
we're used to, like-
compared to the rest, don't we?
That's true. But
Like this is our option.
Same way.
The crazy thing is like in Nepal there's so many noodle options, right? Also, every company there's like 5,000 options. I can't believe I actually tried 6-7 noodles today. Wow, good luck in the toilet tomorrow, everybody. And thank you for being in my podcast.
No, not you. Her. She was like, you said good luck in the toilet. She went.
Oh, that's a teaser for her in the toilet. But that reminds me, cool, eh?
What? Explain right now. What? Shut up.
When she sent a snap of her poo.
It wasn't even that. This was about the other day.
Freaking edit this up?
Yeah, of course. You used to overshare so much, and literally used to tell you like, "Can you stop?" And then you're like, block me then. Oh, batti gayo. Typical. Okay, this is perfect timing to do an outro. It's okay. But anyways, I'm actually curious to see what you guys' period stories are, and if you have any thoughts or views on what we talked about today. Like if there's anything you want to add, please let us know in the comments.
If you have any like anything against us men, don't even bother, honestly. Okay, पहिला आफैलाई मिररमा हेर्नुस् अनि भन्नुस् हजुर अस्ति देख्ने मान्छे हजुर अस्ति Why am I being so formal?
Is she feminist or are you, bro?
That's true.
म फेमिनिस्ट बहिनी हो हजुर अस्ति देख्ने मान्छे यस्तो राम्रो राम्रो मान्छेहरूसित कमेन्ट गर्न सक्छ हजुरको इज्जत छ पहिला आफैलाई मिररमा हेर्नुस् आफैलाई आउट अफ 10 रेट गर्नुस् एन्ड देन कमेन्ट या थ्याङ्क यू
Boom. Mic drop.